But right beside us for a couple of nomad, we have all the way from Áras and Uachtaráin. We'd like to welcome Michael D. Higgins, Uachtaráin, Cahí Wilto. Are you well? How are you?
Delighted to be here, and it is a wonderful location. It is so good, so it is. And if I had legs like that, I'd leave me own at home. I am the first president of Ireland to bring dogs to Áras and Uachtaráin. And I have two dogs there, and I christened them 1 and 2, and people says, why don't you call them Prince or Lassie or Rex or something like that? Well, I said the reason I christened them 1 and 2 is if one died, I'd have 2, and if 2 died, I'd have 1. And I'd like to say something biblical now to you all. I want to quote from the Bible. Is it okay if I quote from the Bible, Father? You don't mind, because you're not great at it yourself. About 5,000 years ago, Moses told the people of Israel, pick up your shovels, mount your asses and camels, for I will lead you to the promised land. 20 years ago, Bertie Ahern told the Irish people, lay down your shovels, sit on your asses, smoke a camel, for this is the promised land. And a year ago, Michael Noonan started stealing your shovels, kicking your asses, raising the price of camels and mortgaging the promised land. I think I'm going to say the Fine Gael Creed. Will we all kneel down and face Enda Kenny? Are you ready for the Fine Gael Creed? I believe in Enda the Taoiseach Almighty, creator of jobs unseen. I believe in Michael Noonan, Minister for Tax, Board of the Fine Gael Party, suffered under John Bruton, was criticised, survived and was re-elected, He rose again to the party, he is seated at the right hand of Enda. He shall come to tax the living and the dead. I believe in one Fine Gael Party, the forgiveness of Phil Hogan and Alan Shatter, and life everlasting. Amen. Goramila Mahagut, the Rasharishi Barty Crocky. Right beside us for a couple of moments, we have, of course, the one and only one of the Aldermans, Al Taoiseach Enda Kenny Cahí Wilto. Are you well? How are you? I want to say to each and every one of you here, if I get back into government on my own and single party government, I'm going to change PAYE from pay as you earn to pay all you earn. Goramila Mahagut, Michael Noonan, and of course the Minister for Finance here in Botty Crocky today. Cahí Wilto, are you well? How are you? And Limerick, man, isn't that right? Oh, yeah. I started off in Limerick as a bank robber. You see, I was unfortunate, you see, because my first bank robbery went wrong. I was inside the bank with a sawed-off shotgun when I discovered the wrong end of the gun sawn off. And then I decided to carry the fight to Dublin. I went into a bank in Dublin, and I started roaring, this is a cock-up, this is a cock-up. And the bank manager was trying to talk me down. He says, you mean it's a hold-up? I says, no, it's a cock-up. I left the gun on the bus. Goramila Mahagut, a Rashari, Sherry, Borky, Groky, we have Eamon Dunphy, will we win a World Cup? What do you think for a European Championship? Wow. We got to wow.
The reason I have a constipated look on my face is because I am constipated. Good immediately, Mahmoud. And from this edition of the Sunday Games, we heard about a Celtic saying a very good night. How is everyone, ladies? Are you all right? You all in good form? Yes, how about everyone in the bottom, right? Anya and Evan. And Anya's a teacher, isn't that right, Anya? Primary or secondary? Primary. Okay. If it was secondary, three best things about being a secondary school teacher is June, July and August. Oh, we've plenty of teachers here today. We have Louise Brady and Louise Murray. Look, you better deliver yourselves up, because it makes it... Well, there was this... Where? Oh, Lord, you noise. This Cork... Are we only here from Cork? This Cork girl goes into the classroom and she's going to teach everything through poetry. And she says, Moriarty, now I want you to say a poem with a pistol in it. Moriarty gets up. He said, my dad's a policeman. He wears a suit of blue, he has shiny buttons all down the middle, and he carries a pistol too. She said, you're very good boy, Murphy, come on. Get up now and say a poem with a pistol, and Murphy gets up, he said, my dad's no policeman. He wears no suit of blue. He draws the door at 12 o'clock and he's on the pistol too. The two Louises. Louise and Louisiana, huh? Oh, they're great old times what they have, I'm telling you, huh? Well, it reminds me, ladies, I know, look, it's marvellous, but have we any couple here celebrating a wedding anniversary? Jeez, there's only one of them here. What?
Mikey and Kathy.
Mikey and Kathy.
44 years.
44? 44 years! Congratulations! Well done! Yes, that's 88 years between the two of you. Well done, you're sitting very far apart. Would you push into the girl so that she can be getting used to you for later on? I say, he's a farmer, is he? Is he not? What is he? A mechanic. Oh, I could spend the bottom time, sure. I said, it's one or two things. It's either bottom time or bullshit. Well, there was a couple, ladies and gentlemen. We have a couple here 44 years married, but there were 60 years married. Can you imagine 60 years together? And the romance was still there because they wanted to go back to the hotel where they had spent their first honeymoon night, which was far more important in these days now. If you follow what I mean, do you follow what I mean? I'd say you're a devil, Larry. You're a devil, you're here with Henry Shefflin, but anyway. You like this hurling, don't you? I cannot repeat it. I'll have to send you up to Father for confession. You bad joke, you. And are you long gone out, lads, or what's the story? Huh? You took your time. But the couple were 60 years married. Like, can you just imagine 60 years married, going back to the hotel where they had spent their first honeymoon night, and their family rang ahead, ladies and gentlemen, so that they get the very same room. You know, so they arrived anyways in it. Now you have to imagine, 60 years on, she had a bit husband. And he had the arthritis, he was bad, his hip was bad. He was still so he wasn't fit to walk. But back anyways, into the road, and nothing had changed. And he sat on into the bed, and she said, Daddy! He said, Far.
Oh, he says, I remember. She said, do you remember this night 6 years? I remember all right. He was still there. And she said, do you remember me sitting here on the edge of the bed? She said, I remember. She said, do you remember? She said, you didn't give me time to take off me stocking. He says, I do. But he said, tonight you'll have time to knit a pair.
I get the sense that we got a barrister in the room. I just have that sense. Am I right? Yeah. I get a sense that barrister is to my right-hand side, am I? Am I right? Jesus, will ye help me? No, you know the barrister, yes, the formal training, how to sit up properly. And who is this lady beside you? Peggy. But is Peggy a relation of yours?
Yes.
Yes, you know she's a relation, sitting beside her waiting to get the place. Peggy, be careful! Once a little barrister, always a little barrister. No other book the fair side here. Please think you have the chance at all, do you? I know what. This woman goes into a solicitor, ladies and gentlemen. Deirdre, you're welcome. This woman goes into a solicitor, walks into a solicitor, ladies and gentlemen. Can you imagine? Into the solicitor anyway, and she loosens the scarf.
You know, solicitors can be very formal. He says, can I help you?
She says, I want a divorce from my husband.
Oh, he said, you want a divorce from her? He said, what grounds have you?
She said, the ground at the front of the house, the back of the house, and the side of the house.
No. He said, what I'm referring to is when you go in front of a judge, you are going to have to give good reason as to why he should grant you a divorce.
She says, what do you mean?
Well, he said, for example, did your husband ever physically or verbally abuse you?
She said, that man never raised a hand to me, only in self-defense.
Okay, there's no point in talking about that. Did he ever leave you short of money?
No. As every Friday evening he came home, I strip searched him to the axle. And I took every last bob off of him.
Okay, there's no point in going down that. Tell me one last thing. Was he ever unfaithful to you?
What?
Well, was he ever unfaithful to you?
Oh, she said, give me a chance, she says. Oh, yes, she says, I think we have him here, she says. I can have this checked out, she says, but I am nearly certain, she said, the last child that I had wasn't his at all.
Have we any Americans here?
Shit.
All right on. Patty, is Patty over here?
Yeah, Patty's here.
Tiger Woods.
How and Paddy?
Here.
Well, jeez, Paddy, you know you made money in the New York.
Don't spend it.
That's all right. I can smell the dollars off him.
You're telling me.
Oh, why are you trying to be related to him?
Something like that.
Yeah, we'll keep the hair over your rifle, yeah.
This American man was his first time in Ireland. He was so happy to be in Ireland. He's driving down through Connemara. Oh, it's so nice to see the lambs in the field and the thatched cottages and the smoke bellowing from the chimneys.
But anyways, he'd come around this outrageous and he spot Paddy down in the middle of the hayfield, breastfeeding the handle of a hay fork.
So he pulled up in his Cadillac and he takes out his camcorder and his tripod and his iPod and his E-pod and his piss pod and every other pod. Well, it's so good to be in Ireland, the Emerald Isle.
So he shouts down to Paddy.
Paddy says, I don't know much about the geography of your country. He says, could you tell me what state is Connemara in? Well, Paddy said with all the rain we had for the last week, 'tis in a terrible state. Well, he says, I love looking at your animal. He says, could you tell me, he says, how come that bull over there hasn't got any horns? He said, there's a couple of reasons why that bull mightn't have any horns. He might have been born without the horns. Or the horns might have been taken off at birth. He said, but the main reason why that bull hasn't got any horns is because that bull is a horse.
Especially for Paddy. Paddy Svenman all the way from New York. Can't believe you wouldn't give the man home. Yeah! Have we any jobs here?
Oh, Jesus, Alan, who's it gone?
Oh, to Alan Clinton.
That's it.
Not him.
He'll do.
He'll do it. You're dead right. He's there to me. Oh, Alan, go back in here and take your bait. Bundy, who's Bundy? Well, it was the barrister that Christian Jeff, so don't. Well, I have to get a barrister to represent me. One with a less flowery garden, anyway.
Did you ever hear the dopes? Oh, Jesus.
Reminds me, ladies and gentlemen, again, the American man, first time in Ireland. He flew into Dublin the Monday morning after Dublin beat Kerry in the All-Ireland, and he'd heard so much about the All-Ireland, he wanted to get to a traditional Dublin pub where they'd celebrate the victory. So they brought him to this working class pub. Into the pub anyways, lads. And the American took him a good while, and he eventually, it was heaving and dust, he eventually got to the bar. Puts his hands in his pockets, nothing in his pockets.
So the American stood up on the stool. He says, hold on a minute here. He says, you're not going to believe this. He says, but I'm after losing a bundle of 50-euro notes in an elastic band.
And there was this dope looking up on him. He says, you're not going to believe this. I'm after finding the elastic band.
Guys, we're going to win the All-Ireland next year.
There'll be no stopping of them then, ladies and gentlemen, will there, huh? And lots of people here from Ballahadreen and Roscommon around there. They're right. Huh? Is there any Kelly people here? Yes. Did you ever hear the Kelly people talking? Did you ever hear the Kelly people talking? Oh, would no, he's near the window where he won't be part of the bar. Well, if anyone asks him for a room, he can jump out. Well, did you ever, this thing is breaking up, I better stick in here anyway. Did you ever hear the Kerry people talking, we'll do this and want to do that more over in Killarney? Ooh, see. Well, there's two Kerry fellas and they're in the pub. They're having a couple of pints and Paddy says to me, he says, I'm going to tell you something confidential. And he said, what are you going to tell me? He says, I'm going to divorce the wife. And he said, why are you divorcing your wife? He said, she hasn't spoken to me in 6 months. Jay, your man says, I think twice about that. Women like that will have to come by. And we'll leave you with this one. Are you all having a good time anyway? We'll leave you with this one. Summertime, ladies and gentlemen. Can you imagine summertime? Lovely time of the year. There's an English boy. Have we any English people here? No. Oh, Bundy is an Englishman too. I'd say Bundy is no fixed aboard. And the fellow beside him lives in the flat over him. Only a bit of fun. So a little sharp to care from him. An English boy, a Scottish boy, and an Irish boy, 9 years of age. And when you're 9 years of age, you think there is nobody quite like your dad. He's the best dad in the world. They're having a kick around the football and they sit down on the grass to have 3 cans of Coke and the English boy said, I wish him not does the fastest man in the world, cause he's in the British Army. And he can fire a bullet out of a .22 rifle, and he's so fast he can catch that bullet before it reaches its destination. Scottish boy says, he said, mate, that's the fastest man in the world because he's an archer with the Queen's Regiment of the British Army, and he can fire an arrow out of a bow, and he's so fast he can catch that arrow before it reaches its destination. And the Irish fella, Patrick, had his youngish name. He's as wide as he's long and as cute. He said, will you shut up the tweed on what you're talking about? My dad is the fastest man in the world who works for Roscommon County. He doesn't finish work until 5:30 in the evening. And he can be at home in our house eating his dinner at 3:30.
Are you lonesome? Feel this me too? Are you sweet apart? Was your mind and your head ever straight?
We'll have the blessing of the heads now. Lord, to bless this morning, and make sure the Lord hear us, the French chef, God bless us. You could, oh yeah, you could nearly sand a door with it.
No, he's a builder. Can smell the concrete off him. Ladies and gentlemen, Anya, doesn't the bride look stunning? And the groom looks stunned. Ladies and gentlemen, it leaves me to wish you all a very happy Christmas and every prosperity for 2016, but to wish for the bride and groom health and happiness in the future, what you would wish for them. And I know you're going to have a wonderful evening. Thank you very much, God bless you, and enjoy the rest of the day.